Hello everybody, John Scriptwell back here again with another video, and today I bring you another Arrow review. Yes, it's Wednesday night, and that means the return of Arrow on TV. Now, last episode was pretty iconic, to say the least. It was pretty epic. I pretty much gave my personal thoughts on that in my mid-season finale review, and it was pretty much the best episode out of Season 3 of Arrow. You know, it was great, it was well done, the action was nice, the acting was good, the visuals were amazing, and the Oliver versus Ra's al Ghul fight was epic. Even though I felt that it took a little too much from Batman, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you agree with me that it definitely took a little way too much from Batman, I did enjoy the fact that they actually used the elements of the Batman versus Ra's al Ghul into that specific episode. And overall, now it's the return. It's Arrow Season 3, Episode 10, titled Left Behind. So if you've not seen the episode, this may contain spoilers, but that being said, let's get right down into it. Obviously, this episode takes place 3 or 4 days after the disappearance of Oliver. As we all know, Oliver went to duel Ra's al Ghul to the death, and of course failed and died. And now Diggle, Felicity, and Roy are left to pick up the pieces and try to continue crime fighting without Oliver. And obviously there's a whole bunch of things going on. You know, Felicity doesn't want to come to terms with the fact that Oliver could possibly be dead, and Diggle and Roy are obviously still trying to maintain order and justice in Starling City. And then on top of that, you have some, you know, big or minor subplots with Merlin trying to, you know, encourage Thea to leave Starling City now that Oliver's gone, and trying to also convince the Team Arrow, if you will, that Oliver is actually dead. And then you have Roy experimenting his beta testing, if you will, of the Atom suit, which was actually my favorite scenes out of the entire episode. I mean, like, aside from the Diggle action and the whole team trying to maintain justice without Oliver, I think that was cool, but the biggest thing I liked other than that is the Ray Palmer stuff. I mean, Ray Palmer is one of my favorite characters. Brandon Routh is just awesome. I think he's a great addition to the series. And I just, like, if there's one thing I really want to see by the end of the season is him in the Atom suit, you know? And we got to see some somewhat tests with that, and it doesn't look as epic as I would have loved, but overall it's still in the testing stages, so I guess we still have tons of episodes to see when Ray actually puts on the suit, and hopefully he does some pretty epic, awesome stuff. It basically, spoilers if you've not seen it, but the whole beta test is essentially kind of like, if you've seen the first Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr., that's him testing out the Iron Man suit. That's essentially what Ray Palmer is going to be doing on Arrow, so that's essentially that. And then you have Laurel doing her thing, apparently, and I think her scenes in this episode were definitely the most surprising. You know, I didn't really expect that much out of Laurel. You know, I never do, you know, and plus, over the course of the season, especially the last couple episodes, she's kind of had nothing to do. And, yeah, I'm not going to spoil it, but, she puts on a black costume. So, you can pretty much guess what that means at the end of this episode. So, let me know in the comment section below what you personally think about that. I don't want to go into too much details, especially until we see next week's episode. But overall, yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if that was the best way to end the episode, but it was interesting. Nevertheless, we also have a new villain that's come to Starling City, played by Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones I'm a huge fan of. I think he's an awesome actor, and he always plays badass roles. The only problem I had with his criminal arc in this episode is that I didn't really understand what they were trying to do with his character and what he was trying to achieve with the mob or gang of Starling City or some shit. I mean, it was very confusing, and they didn't really put much thought into what they were trying to do, or at least that's how it came off to me. So, how it comes off to me is, basically, Vinnie Jones's character is trying to erase all the incriminating evidence against most criminal, I guess, douchebags, if you will, that have been, you know, wreaking havoc towards Starling City over the course of, in between Season 2 and Season 3 of Arrow. and trying to release them so he can bring them onto his team so he can create an entire army of criminals that he can use to take over the Glades. That's essentially the general gist of his arc that I kind of got from. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but of course, if you want to correct me in the comment section below, you can do that. But overall, it was the criminal arcs in here. It's like everything in this episode, with the exception of Ray Palmer's and Felicity's thing, and Felicity, specifically Felicity and Diggle and Roy, dealing with the fact that Oliver's gone and not coming back. Other than that, everything else kind of felt useless and pointless. Like, Laurel was pointless, the criminals' actions were pointless, Thea was, pointless. I mean, like, I don't understand why they had to have her in this episode in general. But overall, it was just pointless. Like, even the Hong Kong flashbacks were pointless. Like, I didn't really like them at all. Like, it was just... over the course of Season 3, I have not liked the flashbacks at all. Like, there hasn't been a flashback that I actually enjoyed, I mean, the closest thing I can say is maybe the katana fighting sequences are cool, but, other than that, like, the flashbacks have been boring and useless, in my opinion. They just weren't that really great, and this episode doesn't do justice to that. Like, over the course of me watching the flashbacks in this episode, it kind of felt like the sole purpose of them being in this episode is just so, like, Stephen Amell can do something when he's not dead. That's kind of how I see it. It's like, okay, well, Oliver's dead, what can I do? And it's like, well, Stephen, I guess we can do some action sequences, I guess. Why not? Okay, let's do that. Let's shoot that shit. That's how it kind of comes off. Like, the story doesn't make sense. Amanda Waller, all her lines don't make sense. I don't know what they're trying to capture or research or attack. I don't know what the fuck. I don't understand. It's all confusing and weird. I don't know what the hell. All it speaks to me is this is what Stephen Amell wants to do because Oliver's dead, so he needs to do something because, without Arrow, like, what else is he going to do? So that's how it kind of comes off, Anyways, beyond that, yeah, this episode kind of reminded me of the episode of Sarah in Season 3. Like, it just kind of felt like that. All it was just a depressing, tear fest. Like, where's the razor blades and vodka? That's all I have to say. It's like, really? It's like, here we are with another Felicity crying her eyes out because Oliver's gone, and Merlin's like, well, Oliver's dead because I went and I saw the sword that has blood. It's like, I don't know. There was just a lot of... It was a good episode, don't get me wrong. There was some interesting things. I liked the overall twist with Oliver, which I'll get into in a minute. I liked the little Laurel, like, ending was kind of cool. The Ray Palmer stuff was awesome. I would have liked more of that. Vinnie Jones was cool, even though I didn't really understand his character that much. But overall, the entire episode is basically just predicated on Felicity not handling the news well, and everyone trying to discuss as to whether or not they should continue crime fighting without Oliver. So that's pretty much what the overall episode is, and I like that. That's cool. That's good. But after seeing the mid-season finale and going into this episode, what I would have liked to seen was everything that happened after the mountain scene. This whole episode just kind of felt like, it's like, whatever. I mean, like, we all know that, the CW and Arrow creators and writers obviously want, Oliver to take a break for a moment. But, we want to see, like, what happened. Is he dead or alive? And for those of you who are wondering if Oliver is officially 100% dead or alive, I'm going to spoil it for you. So, of course, spoilers if you've not seen the episode. But officially, Oliver was dead. But, as teased in the teaser trailers, he was captured by none other than Mateo, apparently in a flashback sequences, ironically enough, in this episode. Apparently he says something to the point of, like, now that I'm in your life, death, or some said shit. I don't know what the hell. And then apparently goes into capturing Oliver's dead body, taking it into a secret person's unknown character, Fortress of Solitude, if you will, to hopefully revive Oliver's body. And then it's revealed that the person who was hidden, the unknown character, is actually Katana. Apparently she was alive the whole time. She wasn't dead. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like, well, where have you been this whole time? And plus, why aren't the two of them together anymore? I don't know. We're going to have to wait, to see more flashback sequences and all that nonsense. But ironically enough, Oliver was dead, but it lasted only like 5 seconds, so it's not really something that everyone has to bitch and moan about. And of course, they did not use the Lazarus Pit. I know everyone was wondering. I mean, like, I saw multiple videos on Lazarus Pits and, you know, photoshopped images of Oliver in the Lazarus Pit, all that awesome stuff. But as seen in this episode, I can't be 100% sure, but I'm guessing that the Lazarus Pit was not used in the revival of Oliver's body. That's my guess. We did not see any green auras. I didn't see any green, you know, liquids. I didn't see anything that was green. It was basically Oliver standing near a fire, waking up, and finding out that Katana brought him back to life under unknown circumstances. So, I don't know what the fuck. Overall, this episode was very weird. Not the greatest Arrow episode that came out of this season, and I would have loved more Ray Palmer stuff. But overall, this episode was decent, it was good, but it just wasn't the best, you know, return episode that they could have done. So I'm going to give this episode a 6 out of 10. It was good, but not great. That's kind of how I like to put it. And overall, I don't know, like, there's a lot of weird new questions to ask, like, you know, what's with the whole Katana, Oliver, Mateo thing? What is Felicity really going to do? I mean, like, based off this episode, she's kind of made it clear that she's kind of done with the whole crime fighting thing, so, and that also kind of really pissed me off. It's like, now that Oliver's done, like, what really do you have to do? You know, like, without Oliver, you know, he kind of gave you a purpose, you know, like, why quit crime fighting? I mean, I know she loved him, and that's, like, the whole show's predicated on, is their relationship. It's like, oh, they're all, you know, I don't know, it's like, and also that whole scene where, like, spoilers, the whole scene where she, like, walks out of the Arrow cave, if you will, and she turns off the lights on Diggle and Roy, that kind of pissed me off. Like, I hate it when people do that, like, and that happens a lot, and I don't know if it's a woman thing, but, God, I hate it when a woman and like, are arguing and then they just leave and turn off the lights on you. It's like I'm still like, they're still there. It's like, what the fuck? What, they're not Catwoman. They can't see in the dark. What the hell's the matter with you turning off the lights like that? It's a big room with a lot of stuff. What are you doing? But yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, and I'm also kind of sick of Felicity always crying. Like, I'm kind of sick of that too. It's just like, if I have to go through another episode of Felicity crying about something, I'm just gonna do something terrible. Like, I don't know, it's just aggravating. It's like, I get it, she's in love with Oliver, their relationship was definitely at the ends of the ropes, and now that he's officially dead, it's, you know, she's contemplating, like, should she continue, you know, with the whole Arrow business, or, you know, go on doing the Atom business, or just stop it all together and just, like, stop seeing people that she loves die. I don't know. I mean, like, that's a good topic, and I liked it, but overall, it just felt a little weird, so, and it kind of came off a little not right, in my opinion. And also, another really big thing, it's more comedic than anything, it doesn't bother me too much, but does anybody kind of find it weird that Roy's action sequences defy logic? Like, God, like Roy's, like, Arsenal's attack sequences and fights choreography over the course of this season has been funny as it is, you know, like, with his extensive flips and his, like, you know, his Power Ranger flips and his, you know, extensive, way too much action for simple tasks is just weird. But this episode really took the cake on Roy, you know. It's like, there's like two distinct sequences, like when Diggle and Roy are attacking Vinnie Jones's gang and shit, and spoilers, he does these weird attack sequences where he actually kicks someone, and as he's kicking, he, like, levitates, like, 10 feet over to, like, walk on the ledge. It's like, what? How is it physically possible that you just did this one kick that didn't look like it took a lot of energy to do, and then levitate, like, 5 to 10 feet in the air, like, I don't know, it's just, there was so many, like, I'm just saying, folks, if you go back, watch this episode, look very closely at all of Roy/Arsenal's attack sequences, they all defy, you know, logic. It's so stupid, and it doesn't make sense, and it's funny, but it's just really weird. It's kind of like, it's like, what did the Arrow fight choreographers do? Like, it's almost like they save all the best action scenes for Oliver, and they leave all the weird, illogical stuff for Roy. That's how it kind of comes off. But overall, I did like this episode. I like the opening sequence that it opens with a bang. I really like that. I liked Diggle wearing the Arrow suit. I thought that was kind of cool. I liked his line about it too. It was pretty hysterical. Merlin was kind of interesting in this episode. I don't know what his full plans are, but it's definitely very interesting. Thea didn't really like. Felicity questioning her motives was interesting, but I wasn't really big on it. Ray Palmer, I loved. I think I just can't wait to see him put on the Atom suit. And Oliver was officially dead, but now he's back. And how long is it going to be until he comes back? I don't know. Based off the teaser of next week's episode, I'm guessing he's going to be out of commission for that episode too. So I guess we're going to have to wait until, later episodes to see Oliver return to Starling City and have a big hug and kiss from Felicity and a whole bunch of other questions that don't make sense. And I don't know, just various other things that are like very weird, that are very questionable. And very, very weird, in my personal opinion. But overall, that was pretty much my review of this episode. At the end of the day, I liked it, but it just wasn't great. That's all I can really say. It wasn't terrible, wasn't amazing. It was just okay. I'm just saying, after the mid-season finale, it's kind of like, that was their peak episode. Now it's kind of like they have to bring it back a notch, so... Anyways, the Arrow is back on TV. I hope you guys are enjoying that. If you've not seen any of my prior Arrow Season 3 reviews, like my mid-season finale or all the prior episodes, I have pretty much every single Arrow Season 3 episode reviewed. So go to my channel to check out all of those. And, of course, I'll be back next week with more Flash and Arrow reviews for you guys. Anyways, in the comment section below, let me know what you personally thought about everything that happened in this episode. When do you think Oliver will return to Starling City? When do you think Ray will put on the Atom suit? What do you think Laurel's going to do with the Canary identity? And when do you think, and how do you think Oliver's gonna deal with the whole Felicity thing, because we all know eventually they're gonna have to be like, you know what, this is how I feel about you, and it's like Felicity has now kind of made it clear that she's kind of done with crime fighting because she doesn't want to see people that she loves die anymore. So it's kind of weird. It's like, if Oliver comes back, is she gonna be back in the game again, or is she gonna be like, you know what, I'm done with Ray, I'm done with Oliver, I'm done with Barry, that's it, I'm done with all the crime fighting, men in my life, is that, the way she's gonna go? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Also, subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.